Did you know that 90% of the world's millionaires invest in real estate? Well, I'm Angel with the Academy Presents Real Estate Investing Rocks, and I'm here to help you if you want to go for your piece of that pie.
I kind of maybe want to wrap this in. Again, positivity, gratitude, and self-confidence, guys, they don't happen overnight. Okay, they really, really don't. They do take a lot of practice and a lot of work. And sometimes it's going to force you to get uncomfortable because you've got to face some demons inside. You've got to face those uncomfortable truths that you've been piling away and hiding from and running away from for years and years and years that you don't want to. But those self-limiting beliefs, those things that are you're failing to uncover are ultimately holding you back, right? And this goes, and I'll give it an example that happened about a month ago. Angelica and I got in a little argument on a Friday night, and it kind of rolled into Saturday, and she just blatantly called me to the table. She's like, Mike, you're unhappy. You're unhappy in this situation, this situation, this situation. And it kind of took me back because I hadn't thought about it, or maybe I chose not to think about it, right? I didn't want to believe it. And when she said that, it's like, wow, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. And I can't deny that. I can't hide from that. And I can't ignore it because ultimately, yes, you are. It is. And when I uncovered that truth, it was like, I have the ability to control my reality. Right. So what did I do? I changed that situation. That was a Saturday. Monday, I changed the situation. I put in a notice, and which ultimately led me to leaving the other program. And finally raising my standards, setting my standards higher for myself and starting and going and branching back out and doing my own thing. But had she not said that, I may still have gone down this path and I may not be here talking to you guys today because I wouldn't have finally stepped up to the plate. I needed her to say that for me. And it wasn't even her doing it out of hate. It was all out of love. But when she said that, it was the truth I needed to hear. Mike, you're unhappy. Wow. You know what? You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And guess what? I had the power to change that. And again, in my circumstances, luckily I was able to change that very, very quickly, but not all circumstances are the same. It may take a couple of months or like in your case, it took, a whole semester for you to be able to finally get out of that situation. But just like you experienced within a week, like I said, within a week's time, I saw this whole different Angel that I didn't see before. And same with me, literally what was going on in my situation after that notice actually the very next day, I noticed little things that I wasn't waking up with anxiety. I wasn't waking up with, oh, what text am I going to get? What, it just went away very quickly. So yeah, I don't know where to end or exactly how to end this and I don't want to keep circling back to things. So what input would you like? Do you have for me, or do you want to keep going with this one?
I think that the reason why it's so hard to just find an endpoint is because, self-confidence is a journey.
It is.
You're gaining, and then you might lose a little bit because I'm a pretty confident person. Like sometimes I'm almost like turn off level of confidence. And at the beginning of this school year, I was confident in a lot of stuff. But when it came to my teaching, I had lost a lot of confidence in it. And I began to doubt my abilities, and I began to doubt, my capabilities to even learn new things. And it was hard. But when I finally made that choice that this isn't a good health choice for me, and I turned away from that and chose my health over the job, I started getting my confidence back.
Would you say that maybe that the you losing your confidence in teaching and your teaching abilities and skills was maybe kind of brought on by the unhappiness of the job situation?
I think it was the unhappiness. I think it was the constant reminder that I wasn't enough, that I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't good enough, the environment. But that negativity just compounded and compounded and compounded. And then I'm sitting there saying, I wish, I don't want these people in my room all the time. And then I'm telling them, like, I'm speaking it into being. Oh yes, they're going to be in your room all the time, stressing you out even more. And it was just like this self-fulfilling circular prophecy that really just chiseled away and broke down the confidence that I had. And it took the summit to make me realize, girl, you got a teacher's heart. You're good at this. And don't let anybody ever tell you anything different.
Yeah, you're ultimately a helper, right? We just uncovered this truth, and I know your story and your situation, and we don't need to go super in depth in it, but I could tell you were drained. Your passion for teaching wasn't there, and it was ultimately reflecting in your health, right? And I think I told you several times, or maybe I don't know if I actually blatantly told you, but it's like if you keep going down this road, Angel, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're going to, and not overnight, but you're going to lead to some serious health problems that are ultimately going to probably lead to a demise health.
Well, and it took me winding up in the ER over it for me to actually see that.
Yeah. So one thing is, and I'll leave this here, is don't get to the point where you're that physically ill that you do end up in the emergency room. Okay. I don't know if your audience is predominantly male or female, and regardless, there's a lot of type A females out there. Sometimes you got to let the ego go. You got to drop the ego and reach out for help. And I always use this as an example: elite level athletes, Olympic athletes, high achieving people in the business world. Do you think Grant Cardone did all this on his own? He had a coach. He's had lots of coaches, lots of mentors. Tony Robbins, one of the greatest self-development coaches there is out there, highly successful businessman. He didn't create all that by himself. I use Tom Brady as an example. Not that I'm a Tom Brady fan or not a Tom Brady fan, but do you think Tom Brady got to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, won all those Super Bowl rings by himself? No, that dude has a throwing coach, offensive line coach, a nutritionist, probably an arm rehab coach. He has multiple coaches. So if these high level people in the world in athletics or in business have mentors, coaches, or mastermind groups, don't think that you're going to get away with, understand that you need those. Understand that by letting go of the ego and asking for the help and being open to the help is only going to up level you and raise your standards, raise your vibrations.
And it cuts down on the learning curve.
Oh, tenfold. Nobody's a master in all areas in life, right? Like I know very little about real estate. So would I start going and buying houses on my own without getting, joining a group or something or having some sort of knowledge? Absolutely not. Where a lot of people, and this happens a lot, is they think that they can take control of their health and fitness by YouTubing everything. I'll just YouTube this and I'll figure it out. Yeah, well, where's that gotten you? It hasn't got you very far, right? And I'm not saying that there's not good information out there. There's a whole lot of misleading information out there, but you don't have the accountability and you don't have the expertise of a coach in that certain area. Like I'm not a business coach. I'm not out coaching people on business. That is not my realm of expertise. I'm a health coach, right? And I don't even like to say fitness coach because that's the back burner to this. It's right here. The mindset's the biggest part. So I have transpired into now health as a whole. It's your mental health. It's your physical health, your nutrition health. Yes, all of that, but how you incorporate all these things to create balance in life. So leaving your audience with a couple of tools is to start your day every day, wake up within the first 10 to 15 minutes, write 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. Okay, express that gratitude in life. I do it again at the night. I call it an end of day report. But the first thing on my end of day report is 3 things I was grateful for that day, 3 wins that I had for that day, and 3 ways I could have gotten better that day or could have improved that day. As far as positivity, remember TEAR, T-E-A-R, your thoughts, they are very powerful. They become your emotions. Your emotions translate into actions, and actions over time create your reality. Okay, self-confidence comes from that self-talk. Okay, that positive self-talk. Remember, what we speak to ourselves, when we verbalize it, becomes 10 times more powerful. And those negative thoughts, right, are 40 to 70% more. When you speak negative thoughts, they are 40 to 70% more likely to actually manifest into reality. And again, 83% of illnesses are exacerbated by negative thoughts. So get rid of the negative self-talk, okay? If you guys are, any of your audience is like, wow, Mike, this is resonating with me. I love what you have to say. I really need to take control of my health. My health is a limiting factor in my self-confidence. And it's probably also limiting me in my business, that I don't have the energy as it comes later in the afternoon for those afternoon or evening showings. Or by the time I get home from all of this, I don't have any energy to spend and show up powerfully for my kids, my family, my children. So maybe we can drop a link, or I can send you a link, Angel, to apply to work with me. We'll get on a call. I'll talk to you about the program a little bit and see if I'm even a good fit for you. If you're a female listener, I love females. I love women. I grew up in a female dominant household, but my girlfriend will be the coach for you on that one. So if any listeners do have interest, maybe we can drop some links when we post this, go about there. How would you like to do that, Angel?
We can put it on the event page, or when you can go back into the room and add it under the live. We can put it here in the chat because I believe the chat shows up on the YouTube video, but I might be mistaken. But I can get my husband to add it in under the title or something.
Okay, well, let's see. I can pull this up very, very quickly. Here, let me find this link quickly.
Honestly, I'm one of those people that I believe everything happens for a reason. And I absolutely believe there was a reason why you were put in my life, because you helped me through some major crap. And you weren't judgy, and you didn't say things to me like, Angel, you need to stop drinking. I mean, you would say it, but it wasn't like in that very judgmental kind of way. You're probably one of the reasons why I'm even here today.
Well, that actually just gave me chills. Damn, thank you for saying that. But again, I'm not here to sell myself on being a good coach. It's just after working with literally thousands of people, you got to understand and see things from their side of the view, right? Me sitting here saying, Angel, don't drink, da, 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 da. You're going to drink. So for me saying that, it's just wasting my breath. It's how much are you drinking and within moderation, but there's something else going on, right? You're not drinking just because to drink, right? There's something deep-seated that is going on. We need to uncover those truths, right? And you do need to be patient with some people, but you also have to give the right amount of oomph, right? I can't, and some people respond well. It's situational, but I'm glad that I was there in your, maybe I don't want to say darkest time, but a very challenging time in your life, right?
Absolutely.
I am excited that my tools, my strategies, what I helped you work through actually worked for you, right? And that was a pretty scary situation when you were in the hospital, right? That was really, really a scary situation. And you know what? We kept working through that and got you past it. And look at where you are here. Yeah. You're doing the summit. You're doing things like this. You're making a big impact. When you did the burpee challenge, look at how many other women or family members or people you got doing the darn burpee challenge with you. And I do also believe everything happens for a reason. There was a reason that I was your coach in the other program. There was a reason that you invited me on to speak to your audience and to speak onto this show. There was a reason I got to share this message today. And it may not be a crystal clear answer. It may show up later somewhere else in life, but everything does happen for a reason. So I thank you so very much for taking this time out of your busy schedule to allow me to speak to your community. Community, thank you for taking the time out of your busy lives and schedule to listen to me talk, hear my story. And like I said, my message resonates with the right people. With the people that needed to hear this, it'll resonate with those people. What do you want to leave off on, friend? I think that's all I've got for your audience today.
I just thank you for sharing your story, and for talking to us about, about the gratitude piece of it, and just the positivity and the speaking things into being and the power of words and just everything you shared, because I feel like there's so many people out there that they get down and it's like just a downward spiral and they don't know how to get out of it. And so I feel like you, and I feel like I call y'all health and wellness coaches. I just feel like y'all's job is so much more than just diet and working out. Cause I have personal experience with it being way more than that. And so I just reach out to people and I put it out there for people. Just, if you're thinking about it, reach out to somebody, do a discovery call, just to see if you even fit, or if the pieces of their program work with what you're wanting to do or what you're wanting to accomplish. Because just like people say, you need to get a therapist, you need to get a health and wellness coach too, because you may think you're doing really well with that piece of your life, but it wouldn't hurt to have somebody else at least take a look.
And also chances are if you are listening to this, you believe in coaching. You're in programs or have been part of multiple programs. So if you've used a business coach and you've had great success in that, why wouldn't you want to at least be open to trying a health coach, right? If you are really at the point where you're ready to make a change in your health, then get the expertise, get that help from somebody that specializes in that area. Don't go to YouTube, don't go to Google, because at the end of the day, and if you have been doing that, your results thus far show your strategy or lack of strategy thereof.
Well, I mean, and it goes back to, like, if you want to level up in business, you get a coach. You want to level up in health and wellness, get a coach.
Get a coach. Do you want to level up your relationship? You get a relationship coach, or you go to a therapist. I also joke a lot is when I was in college, if I would have known exactly what I was going to deal with in the world, I would have taken way more psychology courses. I would have got a minor in psychology. When we were personal trainers, Angelica and I would kind of joke a little bit. We're like, man, we need to be charging $300 an hour for our sessions, 100 for the personal training, and 200 for the therapy session I just gave. And that was just a little joke between us. It is great to see everybody's situation, right? And that's where what works for one person may not work for the other person. So that's where you need to feel them out and actually see what works, what doesn't work. But you also got to give some tough love. I was talking to a client last night. He wasn't doing a few things, and it's like he tried to tell me, Mike, I'm just so busy, this and this and that. And I was like, look, man, we're always going to be busy. Those things are always going to happen. But my job as a coach is to call you to the table and tell you when you're falling short. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm just simply stating the facts that you're not holding your end of the deal up. It really doesn't take that much time to do what I'm asking you to do. And therefore, therefore the results are going to show. So let's look at the calendar. Let's really see what's going on. And he texted me back, and the conversation was a little more drawn out than that. But his text was, Mike, thank you for the tough love. I needed to hear that. I needed you to tell me that. And he goes, you know what? I just did what you asked me, and I'm going for a run right now. So you got to put, and just like Angelica did a month ago, she called me to the table. She told me, Mike, you're unhappy. Dang, yeah, you're right. So with that being said, my friends, I hope you guys have a beautiful, positive day full of gratitude, self-confidence, self-love, and overall just high positive energy.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope that everybody got what they needed out of this. So until next week, we will say goodbye, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, guys.